Hi there. Happy Monday. Welcome to this week's edition of Monday Messages. Well, it's a fun message today. I was thinking back to middle school. Middle school in ninth grade, I decided I was going to take typing. And let me tell you, back then when I was in middle school, typing was no joke. You had like the old school typewriters and you had to type, and it didn't have like a little button you could hit if you messed up and it would auto correct it for you. No, if you screwed up while you were typing, which happened frequently to me back in the day, you had to stop, you had to go back, you had to pull out your whiteout, you had to take the whiteout, put it on the little spot, and then hope you didn't pull out too much whiteout because then you'd have a big blob, and then you might have to pull out the whole. So you had to kind of do that, and then you kind of had to blow on it, wait for it to dry. While it's drying, you might have taken a little sniff of the whiteout to get a little high going, and then put the cap back on, line up the paper, go to that spot, and click the button to correct it. It was a process. But and then your paper would look like, all little dots of whiteout all over the place. So why do I tell this story? Well, I tell this story because I had I got to do a real life version of my day-to-day life, of my spiritual life, using the spiritual whiteout of God to correct mistakes of the past. So last year, about this time, I am a Toastmaster. I relish the fact that I am part of this organization. It's a wonderful nonprofit where you can practice speaking skills, and that's where I want to go with my career. Also, it has many contests. So for me, it's kind of like reliving my night, my drama club days of, trying to go to state to win the big competition with my acting. I get to relive those glory days. So we had an area contest. It's called the International Speech Contest. So I had one at the club level, and I made it to the area contest. And I had this wonderful speech that I wrote, and I was convinced that this was the speech to end all speeches. This was the speech that was going to win me the whole international speech contest. I literally could see the trophy sitting on my wall right here. I had a place all picked out for it. So I had the perfect plan. As I went through my area contest, it was just me and another guy, actually, me and two other guys. And I ended up winning the area contest. And this other guy, David, won the second place. So I'm like, yes, all right, I'm moving on to the division level. And the division level is kind of like the regional, but not the regional, but more like, yeah, I guess it's the regional. So you go in and you compete against other people in like the greater Charlotte area. And so I was like all excited, and it was just literally, I was surprised when I got there that David showed up, because I was like, well, I already beat this guy in the area contest. So I was like, no big deal. I'm confident my speech is good enough to win again. So, if he wants to compete again, we'll let him. Before I competed in this contest, I got on my knees and I prayed for God to help me win. I wanted to win at all costs. So I said, please let me win this contest. And I knew I was full of myself, and I could feel the ego and the pride just welling up inside of me. And then I made the mistake of saying the seventh step prayer. And the seventh step prayer, for those of you who aren't in recovery, in the seventh step prayer, basically you ask God to take away any character defects that's keeping you from Him. And as I said it, I'm like, I'm probably going to lose now because I said the seventh step prayer. Because I knew deep down inside that I was full of pride, and it was keeping me from my higher power, but I didn't care. I was full of pride. I had this great speech. And I get up, I do my speech against David, and I'm sitting there just kind of waiting. I was like, okay, let's just get this over with. First place, let's see first place, and I'll move on, and we'll move to state and then head to international, where I think I would win the whole thing. So all of a sudden they put up second place, and I'll just never forget Kelly Mahoney. And I'm like, my face must have been like, what? It didn't process at the time. I was like, wait, David beat me after I beat him in area? And so clicked off the thing, immediately thought, I'm going to cancel my Toastmasters membership. This is BS. This is such BS. And then I called the president of my club, who happened to be a lawyer, and I tried to pull him in on the crazy. I was like, can you believe this? I beat him in area, and then he comes back, and there's something going on here. How is he even able to compete? And so I start going through all the rules. I start calling everybody I would have called Congress if I could. I would have called whoever to let them know this prideful alcoholic was slighted, because hell hath no more fury than a slighted alcoholic who doesn't win, who comes in second place in a Toastmasters contest. Oh, I was whirling. I was like the Tasmanian devil, just going all over the place. My character defects were totally taking over running the show. I was like a little toddler. And God just kind of sat by patiently, let me do my thing. And slowly but surely, I winded down as things started to think. I was like, what are you doing? Seriously, what the heck are you doing? Who do you think you are? Really? Put things in perspective here. It's a Toastmasters contest. So what? You didn't win. It's okay. You came in second out of 2 people. That's okay. And you know what? You needed to lose. You needed to lose to win, because there's no way that you, with all this pride, would have just, ballooned your way further away from God, which is really where I need to be. I need to stay close to God. So I watched, and, David actually, as much as I thought his speech sucked, he ended up coming in second place in state, which is really good, because there's a lot of really good speakers. So I was kind of put in my place a little bit there too. I was like, yeah, I need to just not do this anymore. It's not good for me. So this year rolls around, and I decided I wasn't going to be in an international speech contest for the reasons of last year. And we needed somebody to represent our club. Nobody, I tried to get I literally did. I tried to get other people to take the role. Nobody wanted it. And I finally I did one of my speeches, and one of the ladies said, you should take that speech to the international speech contest. I'm like, really? Oh. It's like, yeah, I guess I could modify it and work it and get it to where it needs to go. And I thought, what the hell, let's just do it. So I became the area, I represented our club for the area contest again. And as I'm sitting there, who shows up but my nemesis, David. And I was able to look at David, and I said, oh, David, we meet again. And we both laughed. And then I prayed, but I prayed a different prayer this time. The prayer I prayed this time was, God, help me to do the best I can do today. And if I win, I win. If I don't, that's okay too. I gained experience, and I got to work on this speech that I'm working on. And then I also added, and you know what, God, I also would like to say a special prayer for David to do his best as well. I hope, he has a great speech, and, whatever happens, whoever wins, it's your will, not mine. And I left it at that. And as we were going through the contest, I listened to David's speech. This year's speech, I thought, was much better than last year's speech. It was brilliant. It was beautiful. He really, and well delivered. And I'm like, whew, I don't know. He's going to be tough to beat. And so I kind of resigned myself to the fact, I'm probably not going to win, but that's okay. Again, there was only the 2 of us. So it's literally God given a repeat. This is where the spiritual whiteout came in. And as it came time to announce the winners, to my surprise, when it said, my name flashed up on a screen again, Kelly Mahoney, but this time on top it said first place. So I was like, ah, wow. I was like, well, thank you, God. Uh, and thinking about it, I would have been okay being in second this year. I would have been totally fine. I would have been fine. And that's the difference is I took pride out of the picture. I just took pride out of the picture and actually it replaced it with gratitude and, you know, just really just working on trying to be the best me I can be versus trying to be the winner, trying to be the top dog, trying to be the one, top toastmaster in the world. I lost the real purpose of really doing this thing was to better myself as a speaker, have fun in the process. And if I was taking it that serious, I had no business even being in the contest. And so, sometimes you got to lose to win. Sometimes you got to lose to win. And I was truly, truly, truly grateful looking back in the rearview mirror, seeing God's, the autocorrect that God had to do with me, put the little whiteout on, line me up again, boom, correct me, and let's just see where we go. And where we go, we go. So that's my message today. Are you is there a character defect? Is there something that's keeping you from God today? That's blocking your path to him? Is it pride? Is it greed? Is it sloth? I'm good with the sloth one. Is it envy? What's standing in your way of you being fully committed to your higher power today? And then, ask God to take it from you because it's not worth it. It really isn't. It's so much better to just have that defective character, even if it has to get ripped out of you, like it did last year for me. It's okay because you know what? It brings you to a much better place spiritually. At least it did for me. And so ask God to take whatever's keeping you from Him today and remove it so you can see and be with your higher power that truly loves you and wants you to be the best you can be. And once you let go of that thing holding you down, weighing you down, that character defect, you draw closer to God and you live a much better life. So that's my Monday message to you. I hope you have a wonderful week. If you are enjoying these things, go ahead and subscribe. Let's keep in touch. Let's keep doing these Monday messages. And check out my podcast as well. It's called Kelly Appy, and we talk about addiction. We talk about all kinds of mental illnesses, challenges, anything, to help you overcome whatever ails you. So check out Kelly Appy. New one will be coming out this Friday. And I hope you have a wonderful week. We'll see you next week for another edition of Monday Messages. Bye.